Hello there, and welcome back to Empower Your Soul. I am releasing this podcast a day early on April Fool's Day, and this is going to be interviewing my spirit guide team on questions that I've kind of always wondered. And it's going to be an adventure today. This is going to be an energetic experiment. I hope you don't mind. And I have a list of what I think are some amazing questions, and I'm going to have them pick the questions that they would like to answer. They keep telling me five's the limit. Five is how many questions we're going to answer. We will see if that's true or not. I'm hearing it is. They're very pushy with me today. And then what we're going to do is just channel their answers and see what happens. All right, we're going to start with number 3. And this question is, do past life versions of me ever judge what I'm doing right now? Wow. Okay. So first thing I'm feeling is just the sense of love. And I'm feeling, no, they don't judge us for our past lives. They don't judge us for who we are today and what we are here to do. So first thing I just want to say is that our past life versions of ourselves come from a perspective of unconditional love, unconditional faith and support, and almost cheerleading energy that you can do this. You can do this. You have no idea what you've been through in the past, and it's time for you to realize how strong you are and how you can overcome these things. Because to me, it's very interesting because I feel like they're giving at least me this perception of the lessons get smaller and smaller and smaller. And I don't think they get less difficult, but I think as you start to reincarnate, excuse me, you start to have these really, really big lessons that you have to learn. Could you imagine? Think about little kids and how the biggest thing they have to do is learn how to walk, right? They have to learn how to move their hands to their mouth. These lessons are really big and they're really important for the evolution of them as human beings in this lifetime. And so they're giving me that mirror of that image to show me that as we evolve our souls and as we reincarnate, we actually learn the biggest, most impactful lessons up front. And then as we move forward into our incarnations, the lessons actually get smaller in impact, but it's not easier, but it's more like tweaking the energy, if that makes sense. So it's not that our past lives judge us for where we are at today, but they are actually applauding us for surviving everything that you've already been through as a soul and reminding you that you have more strength that you know and you have more tools in your tool belt than you can ever imagine to be successful on this journey. I think they do get frustrated when we don't lean on the previous versions of ourselves, the lessons that we've already learned across several different lifetimes, and encouraging us to talk to them more, to talk to your guides more, to leverage metaphysical experts more so that we can pull out these past lives and the strengths and the tools and these abilities that you've already been able to overcome because you can actually access them all at any point. That is the most frustrating part for them, is not being able to help you without you asking for the help. So keep that in mind, everybody. Keep that in mind. 4, what is the pettiest reason someone ever got bad karma? Let's talk about karma, shall we? I'm hearing them say. Karma is this idea, this vindication that exists here in the physical world, that as the result of something bad that you do, you are going to get something bad in return. And this is a natural thought for us because we exist in a world where if you do bad things, bad things tend to come back to you. And when I say that, they're making me see in my head like the Justice Department, court, jail, etc. And it's like if you don't follow the rules, then there's going to be a punishment associated with that. And it's bigger than that because it's even the unwritten rules of, for example, corporate America, they're showing me, And if you don't follow the social norms and expectations, you get a slap on the wrist and you get either not a good bonus, you don't get promoted, etc. So we are always under this impression that we have to be under our best behavior, or negative things are going to happen to us, or something is going to come in our way to achieving our soul's lessons. And I'm hearing them say that is simply not true, because we need to make bad decisions to progress the journey of our soul. We need to do things wrong in order for us to learn how to do things right. This is a very serious episode. I did not expect these answers to be as serious as they were. Sidebar. So there's this really interesting dynamic about, there's really dumb lessons everybody learns along the way, like really dumb lessons, and some are very hard and tragic, but there's just really petty, dumb things that we do every single day. And it doesn't have to be this big, huge, bad decision. It could be like, I decided not to give myself love today. That is probably the pettiest karma that we can kind of give ourselves, is not showing yourself the true love, the true essence of who you are, appreciating the journey that you've been through. Again, we're kind of back to the last question, and knowing what your strengths are. And that is the most ridiculous of karma, because you are holding yourself down. So it's not necessarily the pettiest karma, but it is this most ridiculous in terms of their minds of how can you not even see your own worth, your own potential, your own heart, and how you have everything, again, within you to overcome the obstacles in your everyday life. And now I'm going to ask my team, really? You can't even give me anything petty? The pettiest thing they're showing me is an owner. They're telling me it wasn't me, but they've seen like people who mistreat animals. Like I see some man, I don't know, it looks like in the 1800s or so, like kicking a dog, and then that man becomes a dog in the next lifetime that gets abused. So yeah, what comes around goes around, because you have to learn the lessons. You do have to learn the lessons. So if you treat somebody bad, you are inevitably going to be the one who's experiencing the bad, so that you can learn that lesson and not to do that again in a next lifetime. So karma is real, but it's not bad. It's just learning the lessons to progress our souls. So don't worry about karma, because you should be making karma, is what I'm hearing them say. Just don't make the same karma mistake again. 6. Are ghosts hanging around because they have FOMO, or are they judging us? Ooh, this is a really good question. I'm hearing them channel to me that there's 2 types of ghosts. So one is our departed loved ones. These are not necessarily ghosts that are stuck here. They're not ghosts that are here to be voyeurs, I guess, so to speak. These are people and souls that want to be around us, supporting us, loving us, and guiding us on our journey. So a lot of the times they will be around us to kind of see what's going on, but also give us strength and reminders, again, of who we are and what we're here to do. So again, these are your energetic cheerleaders, your ghostly cheerleaders on the other side, your departed loved ones. They like to hop in and drop signs and synchronicities to bring a smile to your face, to let you know that they're still around you, to let that you know that they're still supporting you on this amazing journey in life. And so making sure that you don't feel that low vibration when it comes to them, right? Because they want us to stay in a higher vibration mode, because when we're higher vibration, we tend to be at a advantage in life, because our energy, our vibration's high, so things are more in alignment, things end up in a flow state. So they actually stick around, our departed loved ones, to make sure that we don't get into these low vibrations because we miss them. So it's almost like everybody who you might be sad about that has moved on to the other side, they're going to send you signs and synchronicities to bring that energy up for you and to help you out, staying high vibration. So that's mainly the loved ones. And then in terms of the second group, then, as I kind of shut my eyes and kind of see where they're going to go with this, there are those stubborn ass souls that decide that they want to stay closer to the physical vibration. They are not stuck here in the physical world. So don't get that in your head at all. They are not stuck here. We are physical beings in the middle of the spiritual world. So they just like to stay in this vibration with us, even though we can't see them, because they are in fact energy and they do not have a physical body. So they just like being on the vibration of Earth, and it doesn't mean they're stuck here. It just means they enjoy hanging out here. Maybe they've had so many lives here that they just don't want to go anywhere, and that's okay too. So it's not that they have FOMO. It's not that they judge us. They make the decision for them. These souls that decide to stay closer to this physical vibration, they make the decision to stay here for themselves. And now I'm in my head, I'm asking them, like, what about like, I have spirits in my house for sure. They came with my house. Like, I definitely do. And this is my little camp that I have that's in the middle of the woods, by a lake. So what's with those spirits? I'm hearing they're afraid to move on. So I'm hearing that they are just kind of looking for a place to be in limbo for a little while. And when I say in limbo, it's like they know the whole rest of the spirit world exists and they're just choosing not to move towards it because they're just not ready yet. They're taking that rest time for them before they actually go to the rest of the spiritual world. There's nothing wrong with that. They can take as much time as they need because time does not exist in the spirit world. So they can sit and rest and enjoy when they need this little spiritual vacation, and then when they're ready, they just kind of move into the rest of the spirit world. So they're just kind of biding their time. Again, stubborn. Sorry. Thanks, George. George is my ghost. 8. I'm hearing them say, okay. On a scale from 1 to being smited, oh my gosh, how mad is the universe when people fake being a psychic for money? How mad is the universe when you're trying to manipulate people with this spiritual work? They're number one, making me feel super dizzy right now. Super dizzy, super like, oh my gosh. In my head, I'm getting so lightheaded right now. And I feel my throat getting filled with anger. So I know that they get upset about these fake psychics. But also there's this energy of laughing at the same time. And I'm hearing, do you really think you can cheat the system? So there's 2 perspectives. So let's take the perspective of the fake psychics. Some of them don't know any better is what I'm hearing them say. So they can't really blame them too much. It's just an indicator that these people have inner work to do, some serious freaking inner work to do, because they think they're something and they're not something else. And honestly, they're striving to be something that they're not. And they're not willing to put in the hard work and admit to themselves that they're not that good at this. So they continue to just create waves, most of them, of negativity over and over and over again. And they are laughing about what their life review is going to look like when they go on the other side. And almost all of them are so ashamed of themselves and what they've done and the negativity and falsehood that they've spread. Now, as I tune into like the second batch of people, which are the true people who know they're charlatans and they know that they're just out getting a quick buck, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But I think the difference is, and this is really interesting because it feels like the energy behind these fake psychic readings, these fake readers, is a little different, because the people who want to do it think they're doing it, but they don't know any better, and they're reading bias and they're causing more negativity. Like, they truly think they are doing God's work. They truly think that they are gifted and that these messages are coming from another side. So there seems to be this weird energetic imprint on these fake psychics that their impact goes further their ripple effect goes a lot further on their clients and cascades on versus these people who are truly charlatans, the ones that DM you and give you the same spiel over and over again, because they don't give enough generic information generally to cause these massive ripple effects. I think that a lot of people receive these readings and they think about it and then they realize it's fake after a while, so they make the right decision they should have made anyway. And I know that's not true all of the time. I think there's a generalization here, but for the most part, the people who have the energy of what I'm doing is real when they're frauds, when they're not good at this work, that impact goes a lot farther than the people who are charlatans and know that this is fake because there's no energy to back it up. And so this is a really interesting perspective on this view because it's the intention behind the work here. So there's a genuine sad feeling for the charlatans who are purely just sending the DMs, like the ones without the energy behind it, because there's a sense of desperation there. They're not doing this to fool people. They're doing this because they need to put food on the table for their families. These are the people who are literally doing everything they can to survive in this world. And it does not mean that you should go pay these people money, because they are, in a sense, trying to fool you. But there's a lot more forgiveness there and a lot more understanding of why they're doing it, because they're just out to make a quick buck. And they're no different than any other place that is like fraudulent that's trying to make a quick buck, right? The MLM, multi-level marketing schemes. No different energy. Like, they get judged the same way. So we're just going to brush them to the side is what my team is showing me. But here's the difference. The people that are truly invested and truly not doing the work well and truly hurting people in this work because they think that they are doing the right thing. They think the intention and the energy behind it. So I'm going to say the bad psychics. I wouldn't even say the fake psychics. I'm going to say the bad psychics. They do so much more damage than good. And those are the people who need to be, if we had to choose a word, need to be smited. But again, they don't know any better. So there's also the sense of love and forgiveness behind it, but also like they're going to reap what they sow, and they're going to have a lot more repercussions in the spirit world and in their next life because of what they do. And I'm seeing that a lot of them end up being the recipients of these bad psychics in their next life, or these bad rip-off people in their next lives, because they need to know what it feels like to be ripped off and to be shown or felt, shown that there's this fast way out, and take that fast way and then have it all fall apart in like this tower moment is what I'm saying. So a lot of them do end up kind of reaping what they sow in their next life. Is there anything else there? Okay. I'm seeing them kind of tell me to put the paper away. So I'm going to ask if there's anything else they wanted to answer for this April Fool's Day podcast, or anything they wanted me to channel for them. They want you to remember, and this is not an April Fool's joke, that you've chosen this life for a reason. And so if you are sitting in the pity party of your life and expecting everything to come to you and everything to be solved by you and everything to just happen for you because you've chosen this life, the answer is it won't happen. So this is your public service announcement. As they say that, I see the giant bullhorn in their head. This is your public service announcement that you need to do the work. And so this week, they're going to challenge you. What have you been thinking about and not acting on? And what steps are you going to do to make that life the way that you've wanted it to be? What steps can you make? And it doesn't need to be big steps. It can be calling somebody and saying, I love you. It could be writing in your journal. It could be going for a walk. But what action are you taking to literally get up, move your legs, to literally get a notebook, get a pen, right? What steps are you taking to progress your soul and progress your life and step out of this stagnation. Because it's okay that we sit in resting energy, but when you rest for too long, it looks like Twilight in my head. You start collecting dust and you look like those old Italian creepy guys. You know, the Volturi. I said it. I am a twihard here. And you create a life that is not what you expected. Just because you've selected this path does not mean it's going to happen to you. You have to work for it. So here is your gentle nudge from my spiritual team to say, what are you doing to move forward on your soul's path this lifetime, your soul's lesson this lifetime? The faster you get through those soul's lessons, the easier it gets. All right, there is your public service announcement and your wonderful surprise April Fool's Day podcast episode for all of you. Thank you to my lovely team for being here today. Thank you all for listening. I am going to keep this sheet, which has the rest of these questions on here, which are still amazing. And if you like this, I will do more. And if you have questions that you want to ask my spiritual team, your spiritual team, the Akashic Records, send it my way, a podcast at mediumnicole.com. I would love to do more of these because it's just so fun to get their unique perspective on what's going on and how we can maybe survive a little bit easier here in the physical world. All right. Love you all. Take care. Have a wonderful day.